And welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome to 2026 right here on the channel. This is the first game that Barca will play this year, and I cannot wait to get started. New year, same me, but right now different Cole. Of course it happens, that had to be the timing that we were expecting. But here today, we're still going to be previewing the game between Barca and Espanyol, and the reason why I had to be here with you guys, this is a tough game. This is genuinely here a really big early test in the year, and I think for Barca, a lot is going to be shown in this game. We're going to have to see what the team are made of, we're going to have to see what kind of lineup Hansi goes with, and we're also going to be discussing today as well the January transfer window. It is all on the way. I hope you've all had a great new year. Now let's do this. Because indeed, guys, to kick off 2026, Barca are heading to Cornellà to face our, not our biggest rivals, let's be honest here. We don't really rate Espanyol that highly, but it's always a fierce game. This is the Catalan derby. It's one of them. It's the one that we don't really like. But yeah, every time that we come up against Espanyol, it is a battle. It's a really, really fierce game. Challenges, they're flying in there. There's often lots coming from the stands as well, especially when you go away to Espanyol. You know that it's not going to be a nice occasion. And the thing about it is, these games are always tough, and Espanyol are usually terrible. Espanyol are usually absolute rubbish, and it's still a tough game. So my thinking here is, we're playing them now in this derby encounter this time around, and they're actually quite decent. They are actually having a very, very good season. They are a strong team. They've got a lot of quality. They're fifth in the league. They are right up there, challenging, battling right now for European places. They've never even been lower than 9th place in the league this season. So very, very consistent from Espanyol. They are a very good team. So this for Barca, it's a test. Make no mistake about that here. We cannot afford to underestimate Espanyol. We cannot afford to take this game lightly. It's going to challenge us physically and mentally, and we've got to be ready. And of course, it will be a very, very big game indeed for our own Joan Garcia. He will be returning to Espanyol, the club that, don't forget, last season, he helped keep them in La Liga. It has been a really dramatic turnaround at Espanyol. Last season, they were absolutely awful. Joan Garcia almost single-handedly keeping them up with some of the saves that he was making, and we could believe that. With the way that he started at Barca, the influence that he's already had at the club, he was brilliant for Espanyol last season. So it could be interesting to see what kind of reception he gets from them now. Hopefully they do remember that. But yeah, they're on a great run, Espanyol. 5-game winning streak in La Liga right now. When you look at some of these games, big wins in here, big away wins for them. They won away at Celta, they won away at Getafe. That's not an easy place to go. And before the break, they actually won away at Athletic Club, their really good win at San Mamés. Only really interrupted that streak by a shock Copa del Rey exit in December. But other than that, they have been very, very good of late. But I think what we have to sort of note here, and this is what I'm going to try and do in 2026, give you a few more stats, a few more facts, a few more figures here about the teams that we're facing and about what we're doing as well. What I would say right here is, Espanyol, they do not need the ball. So don't think in this game, if Barca come into it, if we dominate the ball, if we get on top of them, that it's going to be an easy task for us. Because what I would say so far this season, no La Liga team has seen the ball less in the league than Espanyol have. They are used to not having it. They have the lowest possession stats in the entire league. Barca have the most. So this is a real contrast in styles right here. But what I would highlight about Espanyol, no team in La Liga have more crosses to their name. So already here, you can understand the kind of plan that Espanyol are going to have coming into this game. They are going to be looking to whip those balls in. They are going to be looking to be an aerial threat, to be physical. That is exactly what you can expect from them. And what I would highlight when it comes to Barca here, looking at the stats again, only Real Oviedo, and remember, they are in the relegation places right now, only Oviedo have conceded more first half goals than Barca when playing away from home in La Liga this season. Barca have conceded 10 goals in the first half of away games. We've only played 9 away games in the league this season. So moving into 2026 here, guys, what I would say about Barca is, you can't keep conceding early on in games. I think we've seen that become a bit of a feature of our games, and many times we come back, we go behind, we rally, but you can't keep giving yourself so much to do. You can't keep there going and having a real uphill task. I think against the better teams here in 2026, when the games really ramp up, the very, very important ones, you want to start games well. You want to start on the front foot. You want to put pressure on the opposition, and especially away from home. And in this kind of game here, don't invite the crowd into it. Don't give them something to latch on to. Don't give them any sort of confidence. We've got to start this game well. We have to dampen Espanyol's expectations, dent their confidence, or else they have the tools to hurt us. Now, we did speak just a few days ago about the January transfer window ahead, and I've got to admit, I'm still a bit frustrated about that, and I think you can hear it here in Hansi Flick's press conference today. When he's asked about January, you can see that he wants something. I think there's lots of coaches around the world who are looking at this squad, who are getting players in this month, who will be in a better position at the end of it. Is that going to be the case for Flick at Barca? And you've got to give him credit here. He doesn't complain. Even today, although he's saying, look, I need something, he's not moaning about it. He's not demanding anything, but quite clearly he would like a bit more. He said, when you look at the back line, the centre-backs, the full-backs, he said, I think we need one more player. I think we need one more in there, but we've got to talk about it. It's not easy in January to find a top-level player, but I hope that we can make something happen. But it has to make sense for the club. So I think Flick right here, again, you've got to give him credit. Because you look at what's happening, for instance, right now at Chelsea. It's quite extraordinary, isn't it? Maresca, he's gone. Chelsea beat Barca 3-0 not that long ago. He is now gone. Big fallout there behind the scenes, disagreements with the hierarchy. And again, it just makes you realise here, Flick has had to deal with so much at Barca. He's had to overcome lots of different obstacles on the pitch, off the pitch, with the financial restraints that we have, not being able to bring players in, not having players here who's always been used to his system. And he's dealt with it incredibly well. I hope that we can help him in January. I hope that we can find a way to strengthen this squad. And you know why? Because he deserves it. But speaking of the defensive areas at Barca right now, well, there's big question marks, isn't there, about Ronald Araujo. He is back in the squad, but when will we see him return to the team? Now, the signs are that it will not be tomorrow against Espanyol. This game seems to have come a bit too soon for Araujo. He has been in training. He's put a number of sessions there under his belt. But Flick said today, it all just basically depends on him. He's not 100% physically, but he's fine. He's okay. But he's got to decide now how quickly he wants to go. He's got to decide when he's ready to fully come back. But he said, look, the support from the squad has been absolutely fantastic. Araujo has taken the time that he needed there. So it seems as though the ball now is in Araujo's court. He's come back to the team. He's training again. Now it's going to be his decision on when he feels fully ready to return there to the matchday squad. But it doesn't look like it's going to be in tomorrow's game. But good news, though, Yamal is fine. There was concerns yesterday, around the training session there. There was a few doubts about Yamal. Is he going to be ready for the weekend? Is he okay? Did he pick up a knock or something like that? But Flick said today, Yamal is absolutely fine, as is Dani Olmo. He is ready to make his return. We spoke about him recently. We want to see him hit the ground running here in 2026. He has the potential to be a big player for Barca, an important player for Barca, and we definitely need more from him now. Let's kick on. But I think as we are heading into a brand new year right here, heading into 2026, when you're starting to think here about lineups, I think it's going to be massive now moving forward from here. Because at the start of the season, you can have some experimentation. You can have a look really at what you've got, who's doing well, who's not, whose form is good, who deserves to be in the team. But I think now moving forward, we are going to start to understand what our best team is. If we are playing a big Champions League game tomorrow, who's going to be in there? What would be our absolute best lineup? So I think here in the weeks to come, we're going to see more consistency. We're going to be looking to keep that level very, very high indeed. And I'm just wondering here in this game moving forward, are we going to continue to see that same back four? Is it going to be Koundé? Is it going to be Pau Cubarsí, Gerard Martin, Alejandro Balde? That's something we started to see at the end of the last year. Just a bit of consistency in the back line. They're getting a bit more used to playing with each other. They're forming new partnerships. That's very, very important for this system. And guys, what about midfield? Because don't forget, before the break, we started to see more of Pedri alongside of Eric Garcia. He was brought into that midfield. Flick was really liking that kind of balance that he brought, the defensive prowess that he's able to bring to midfield there. So will we see Pedri and Eric continuing in midfield, or is the time now for Frenkie de Jong to return? That's definitely an area there to keep an eye on. And what about the number 9 role? Lewandowski's contract is expiring. He is now into the final months of his Barca deal. He's working hard to secure a new one. But is Ferran going to have the jump on him? Is Ferran going to be there in the starting lineup more often than not? And can he score the goals to propel Barca to a successful season, guys? There's lots of questions, lots of big moments on the way. And in this game, I think it's going to be tight. I really think it's going to be a close one here in a derby game. It's never easy to play against Espanyol away, but I'm going to back us to win. Only just, though. Barca 2, Espanyol 1. Let's get through this one. Let's win this game and move swiftly on from ever having to see Espanyol again. At least for the time being. But guys, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below here. What are you expecting ahead of Barca's return? Are you excited here in the brand new year for what's to come? And I will see you after the game. Hopefully feeling a little bit better by then. But thank you indeed, guys, for joining me. I really, really do appreciate that support. Let's start this year with a bang. But until next time, as always, Vesca El Barça.